Yo, welcome back to another video. It's your boy Corey the Man. We back in here. Y'all. We got our new we're gonna be reacting to WWE news for October 3rd, 2023. So let's get right into it. Here we go. Got it right here. I think this is all WWE news.
Americans under 64 can now receive $1,400 a month. If you are making less than $50,000,
Let me load it up on my phone.
And we're starting off today with Raw, which opened with a massive brawl ensuing, one that first featured Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler before Raquel Rodriguez arrived to get some payback on Jax. Amidst the commotion, Raquel also took out Baszler, and things quickly broke down after that, and the three were quickly joined by the returning Women's World Champion, Rhea Ripley. Ripley also got physical and would end up standing tall in the ring while Baszler, Jax, and Rodriguez brawled up the ramp, and Ripley had plenty to say after this fight. The champ was disappointed in her Dom for losing the NXT North American title at No Mercy, and was warned that he wouldn't be allowed to come home if he didn't win the title back in his rematch on this week's WWE NXT. In fact, Ripley expressed her disappointment at the faction's recent issues, which have seemed to only increase in the couple of weeks she has been out of action. It was also stated that Damian Priest was not medically cleared to compete on Raw, with the nature of his injury not being known.
It felt like everybody
and
wasn't
that Finn
cleared
Balor
to compete.
is also out injured. What followed was a confrontation with
He
Jey
wasn't
Uso,
able to compete. They weren't able to compete.
Mysterio, JD McDonough hit the ring
I
to
think it
assist
was even
Mysterio
a few more
and helped
people on the
deliver a
show that
beatdown
weren't
on
able
main
to
event
compete,
Jey.
like Becky Lynch
The
and
beatdown caught the attention of Cody
someone
Rhodes,
else.
and he hit
I don't know.
Mysterio with Crossroads, which clearly left an impression on Adam Pearce. Pearce announced that at Fastlane, Damian Priest and Finn Balor will defend their tag titles against Rhodes and Jey, a match the Judgment Day weren't happy about. The tension building in the Judgment Day has been
they gonna
handled
have Cody Rhodes be a tag champion?
They can really kick the story.
Seemed kind of weird.
And by the end, fans probably forgot who was actually brawling at the start of the show.
I keep forgetting that Fastlane, WrestleMania, is a lot farther than Fastlane than what it usually is. Fastlane is usually the pay-per-view right before a WrestleMania. Now it's like Fastlane, Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber. They'll probably throw in a Super Showdown, can't forget Crown Jewel, and then WrestleMania. So we got like about 7 pay-per-views before WrestleMania.
AEW TBS champion had a cryptic message during the show. During a brawl that opened Raw, Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley made a statement by taking out Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, and
maybe they keep it for 3 pay-per-views and then give it back.
Next to me is a blessing, so let me help you out. My first victim. Hashtag WWE Raw. Could Jade be teasing their first victim will be one of these 3 women? It's possible, and the
I hope it's Raquel. I feel like nobody's talking about her.
Nobody knows
Like they need
be
to.
Raw or SmackDown, but the consensus is that she'll be skipping NXT, and expect plenty more hype around Cargill before she makes her debut on WWE TV.
All health insurance is not the same.
I like that she's skipping NXT. I don't know if it's for sure, just because they said it, but I hope it's true.
Health coverage of Aetna and the convenience of CVS.
She could show up tomorrow and be like,
access to a network
I don't know, she's here.
You trust.
Go after
It also means $0 preventive.
Becky Lynch. Might show up as the next challenger.
On Raw, Becky Lynch was spotted wearing a cast due to her injuries from NXT No Mercy, which includes 11 stitches in her arm after a deep laceration during her Extreme Rules match. Shortly before Raw, it was announced that due to medical issues, Lynch wouldn't be facing Tegan Nox as previously advertised, and they had an interaction.
A whole lot of matches were advertised and didn't happen. Jade versus Damian, Becky versus Tegan. I was looking forward to this match too.
Better be ready for a fight. Knox didn't seem
I wanted to see what was going to happen.
After meeting Adam Pearce, had a match with women's tag team champion Chelsea Green made official. During the match, it appeared that Knox was going to be the victim of a 2-on-1 assault by Green and Piper Niven before Natalya made the save and ensured the young superstar wasn't beat. Post-match, Knox and Natalya embraced, much to Knox's confusion, as Natalya has been working as a heel recently after becoming the first challenger for Becky Lynch's NXT Women's title. Natty's heel run continued when she belittled Tegan Nox last week, resulting in a match between the two that Nox would emerge victorious. It appears that a new alliance has now been formed between the two women, and Natty could take Tegan under her wing on WWE Raw.
That could be
As for
nice.
Lynch, the NXT Women's Champion, has been
Natalia's a
promoted for
veteran.
tonight's NXT, and it'll be interesting to see what's in store after her victory.
Maybe
over
they could
Tiffany
win the
Stratton.
championships.
It was also confirmed that she will defend the NXT Women's title against Tegan Nox on next week's Raw, after their match couldn't take place this week. But for Nox and Natalya, their pairing is a slightly odd one. And do you think Natalya will remain face on Raw? Sound off in the comments. Now, after weeks of Seth Rollins demanding a rematch, Shinsuke Nakamura agreed to face him in a last man standing match at this Sunday's Fastlane. During this week's Raw, Rollins was interviewed by Michael Cole and addressed his love for wrestling and why he's going to be a fighting champion at Fastlane. Nakamura then appeared on the Titantron and accused Seth of feigning a back injury for sympathy from fans, and as the video played, Nakamura attacked Rollins from behind. After Nakamura hit the Kinshasa and used a steel chair, the Nakamura on the Titantron started the 10 count, and Rollins was able to get up before being attacked again with another Kinshasa. Rollins couldn't make the 10 count, and this assault put Seth's reign in grave jeopardy as he heads into one of the biggest matches of his career. Will this Sunday mark the start of a Nakamura world title reign, or will Seth find a way to retain?
I feel like Seth will retain in some way.
Are you tired of living paycheck to paycheck? Trust me, I know. But listen, now you can go back to school with...
Now, in the closing moments of AEW,
I feel like,
Adam Copeland
what is
debuted
it?
for the company with his iconic Metal
Seth
Lucas music,
Rollins be taking
and
on
would
these
fend off Christian
people
Cage,
like 2 or 3
Luchasaurus,
times, and
Nick
outcome
Wayne's
always the
attack on
same.
Darby Allin and
Kind of
Sting.
weird. Like,
Copeland's debut
why not
marks
just
the
move
end of his
on if
lengthy
you're just gonna have
WWE
him
career as
retain?
Edge, and on Twitter, the Rated R superstar shared a lengthy statement thanking WWE for all they have done for him.
I don't even
Copeland
watch the
pointed
matches.
out that it was
I'm
in
gonna just
WWE
skip out
where
on
he'd meet
that.
his future wife Beth Phoenix, and
Maybe
explaining
watch
his
it.
exit, said
It's
that he
always the
feels
same
like he
album.
and WWE had simply outgrown each other. While Copeland wanted to do
If
more,
Shinsuke
WWE
does win,
didn't
I'll be
have much
surprised.
more for him to do, but said he'd still
He
be
is from
supporting
NXT,
WWE
so I
and
can
his
see
friends,
Triple
and
H.
said he doesn't buy into
I don't know,
tribalism
giving him a
mentality in
run
wrestling.
that he never got.
Copeland reminded people that wrestling is supposed to be fun,
Like he
something
did with
fans should
Asuka.
remember, and said that no matter
She
where
had-
he's at, he'll be working as hard as he can every time he
Well,
competes.
she won the
Copeland
championship.
concluded
I'll say
the
that.
slide isn't over yet, and is eager to do plenty with AEW, and with Tony Khan confirming
I think
he'll be a full-time
Io Sky
talent,
should have cashed
expect
in at
plenty
Royal
of a
Rumble
Rated R superstar.
or
According
WrestleMania.
to Fightful Select, the
Cause she
reception to
just,
Copeland
I
joining
don't know, she
AEW
just,
has been unanimously positive.
I don't know,
based on
she won the
conversations with a
championship
number of
very
AEW
soon. I think
sources.
Asuka just got
The
it
report
too at
noted
like
that Copeland was
SummerSlam.
expected to have a significant
And then
presence within AEW,
I think
after expressing
Money in the
interest
Bank
in helping
happened,
out in
and then it
number
was
of
like a few
capacities.
weeks later
A longtime AEW talent
that
spoke
she
with
lost it.
Fightful about Copeland filling the gap in the company that CM Punk left behind, with this talent acknowledging that Punk had been helpful to many within the company during his AEW tenure. Another AEW talent told Fightful that while they weren't officially in the know, Copeland joining AEW was the worst-kept secret in wrestling. Fightful also noted that some within WWE
I mean,
said that it had become
it
obvious
was
to
as
them early
big
on
of
in
a
the summer
secret
that
as
Copeland
Cody
was
Rhodes
going
returned to
leave
WWE.
when his contract was up. The report noted that sources that had worked with Copeland would speak as if it was a fact that he was jumping ship as early as August, before his final WWE match against Sheamus on August 18th was announced.
You can never say
Fightful
final
said that
match
sources
with
they spoke
Edge.
with noted that Copeland
or
left
John
WWE
Cena.
on good terms and would be
There
welcomed
will
back to
never be a final
WWE
match
if
for
he
them.
chose to return.
It'll be
Report
fighting
ended by
until we
noting
can't
that
fight
the
no more.
overwhelming consensus was that those within WWE are quote,
Which is
happy for him.
Not much
In
for
the
Edge.
post-show media scrum,
Probably
Tony
same
Khan
for Cena,
announced
but he
Copeland's
doing the
first
same
AEW
moves, so
opponent and what
they
day
don't
that
really
match
look that
will take
hard.
place. Khan stated that Copeland will appear on Dynamite this coming Wednesday, October 4th, Collision this Saturday,
He's supposed to be
October
like a
7th, and will have his debut match on
full,
the title Tuesday
what would they
edition of
call it?
Dynamite, October 12th.
Full-time wrestler.
That match will be against one of the 3 men he confronted at Wrestle Dream, Luchasaurus. Khan mentioned that Copeland
I'm
is
not wa-
full-time
I
at
don't-
AEW
I don't even
and
watch
will be
that
wrestling
show.
regularly.
I'm probably not going
During the
to.
same post-show media
I ain't got
scrum,
time to
Adam
keep
Copeland
wa-
commented
looking
on the
at.
possibility of working with his wife at AEW.
I don't really care
saying,
about
I
AEW.
mean, anytime I get to be close to... In recent weeks, WWE NXT has been promoting the arrival of a mysterious new character, one who has been seen watching TV shows in a dark room. Fans have quickly figured out that this is Brian Pillman Jr., as several clips relate to his father, while others make reference to being a second-generation wrestler, and now we have confirmation. While WWE are trying to keep the mystery going, the USA Network has put out an article confirming that this is Brian Pillman Jr., who has been appearing in the vignettes. The network called it another savvy signing and said that Pillman is following in the footsteps of Jade Cargill, though avoided mentioning which company both recently worked for. As for when Pillman would appear in person, that remains to be seen, and while WWE may have weeks of more mysterious vignettes planned, it'll be hard to keep the mystery going thanks to the USA Network's blabbing.
Yeah, they be doing too much.
Online that Triple H and Stephanie McMahon were experiencing problems in their marriage, with some even stating that the pair were on the verge of a divorce if they hadn't already. As we've previously stated,
everybody get divorced nowadays. I
with
wouldn't
fans
mind.
pointing to Shawn Michaels liking a tweet bashing Stephanie as proof of a divorce. It has since been clarified that Michaels doesn't run his Twitter account, and that this like was a slip of the thumb, and that he has nothing but love and respect for Stephanie as a person and as a professional. During his Click This podcast, Kevin Nash addressed the rumors that Triple H's marriage is on the rocks and revealed that he has spoken to his close friend about what is being claimed. He said, "I text Paul, I said, 'You okay? Everything all right? I'm here if you need anything.' He's just like, 'What's happening in my life?' I said, 'Social media says that you're splitting with Stephanie and you guys are getting a divorce.' He responds to me, 'I wish somebody would have told me that before I get dragged to this JV football game and my girl's cheerleading.' He says, 'I just love to find out about what's going on in my life through the internet.' I'm sure that probably would upset me, because he finally probably has a day off where it's family time, and it's just like, no man, some troll's gonna f with you on your off day." Stephanie and Triple H tied the knot for real in 2003, and will be celebrating their 20th wedding anniversary later this month.
I think I read
despite
where
what some false reports by trolls would have you
he got
believe.
married, but they on screen they were bitter rivals, so they tried to keep it quiet.
WWE giving the last half hour of the show, the pair had plenty of time to work. Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni
I didn't even watch this match.
leaving Gunther to go it alone.
I think when I turned the TV back on, Gunther had already won.
Ciampa was the smaller man in the fight, but never truly felt like an underdog because of how aggressive he was, which is just one of the many things that makes him fun to watch. After a long and competitive match, Gunther won with a sleeper hold to retain his title in the clear match of the night between two guys known for great
I've never seen
performances.
Gunther use a sleeper hold.
Post-match, Kaiser and Vinci emerged to deliver a beatdown, but that's when Johnny Gargano made his TV return, saving his DIY teammate, and the pair hit their DIY tag team finisher on Kaiser. Ciampa had been searching high and low for Gargano for months to no avail, and this whole storyline on Raw was a change of pace from how things are usually done. WWE rarely ever does
Was
a
that
contract
supposed to be
signing the same
their
night as the title
return
match, so this
since
felt unique
Edge
and
went to
almost
the...
spontaneous,
I don't know.
and fans of the show will have been happy to get the title match last night. We're wondering why WWE didn't keep this match for Fastlane as had been previously reported, and it appears that moving the match to Raw was a last-minute call. WWE likes to keep PLE cards short, and this could be a reason behind putting this title match on Raw rather than Fastlane, but whatever the case, all those involved more than delivered this week. Drew
Thought it was
McIntyre
nice. I
on
thought it
Raw
was
to
weird that
explain
he was
his
defending
attitude
his
in recent
championship
weeks
on
and said
Raw,
that he
though.
doesn't owe an explanation to anyone on the roster, but does owe one to his fans. McIntyre said he's tired of being everyone's savior and getting in fights he didn't start, and given that this was supposed to be a Miz TV segment, the A-lister showed up and wasn't happy. Miz ranted about what McIntyre did to him last week, and this quickly turned into a fight that ended with Drew taking out Miz. Returning from commercials, fans saw a ref calling for the bell, and despite Miz's efforts to avoid fighting in his suit, McIntyre caught him and slammed him into the barricade and apron. McIntyre got the win, but in a dirty way, as he slammed Miz into the exposed turnbuckle before hitting the Future Shock DDT, giving McIntyre a decisive, if not predictable, win. Like most matches on Raw, McIntyre's win wasn't terrible, but it wasn't anything special, but it was rather just there, but at least his pre-match promo helped build his new character. Considering his recent actions on Raw and his recent TikTok, which showed an intense McIntyre working out to his heel Broken Dreams theme, it's certain that WWE are turning McIntyre heel. With that said, defeating The Miz, even in a dirty way, made him appear more like a babyface, so maybe WWE has ditched plans for a fully fledged turn. More from Raw, and in what feels like his first televised match in a long time, Cedric
he went up
Bronson
against
on
Bronson
Raw,
Reed.
and though his lack of entrance signified a squash match, that wasn't entirely the case. Cedric was able to get plenty of offense in early in the match before Reed took him down with a senton and finished him off with a top rope tsunami. This wasn't really a squash match, but it was pretty close, which is a shame as Alexander is a great talent, but WWE barely does anything with him, and expect that to continue now that Shelton Benjamin is gone. As for Reed, a manager could be what's needed to push him to the next level, perhaps MVP, but we'll have to wait and see what's next for the Australian.
Yeah, I don't think MVP doing that. And Bobby Lashley seems to be doing good with the Hurt Business. They're too over though. They should be like faces instead of heels. But they trying.
Ivar would also take out Kofi Kingston after what was a decent match, but without Eric, this all feels like filler until everyone is back. Raw also saw Imperium's Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci in action, with the pair earning a victory over Chad Gable and Otis. WWE has seemingly taken Gable out of the IC title hunt for now, with Ciampa going for the gold and Bronson Reed rumored, but with this match, it's safe to say WWE isn't finished with Imperium and the Alpha Academy. So that was this week's Raw, and the show really only had a handful of matches worth watching if you didn't see the show live, but the non-wrestling segments did a decent job of building up the Fastlane card. Gunther vs. Ciampa was the match of the night, but Alpha Academy vs. Kaiser and Vinci was a solid entry too. And this week's Raw was one that Imperium will look.
I think the last thing they were talking about is AW, and we don't care about that over here. Thank y'all for watching the video. I'm gonna see